What's up everyone, it's Trainer Dell. In this video I have for you my update on the Amazonas deck profile for Yu-Gi-Oh! One of my favorite decks in Yu-Gi-Oh! It's like the deck that I use a lot of fusions for because that's like its main thing. It's battle phase, fusions, big, smash phase. That's all it really wants to do. Battle orientated. And not too difficult. It does have its combos. It does have like its game plan. So if you can get to the game plan, you're pretty much good. If you can't, then it kind of becomes a puzzle piece on like, how do I survive to get there? Which for me is kind of fun. You know, I don't like decks that just take like, 10, 20, 30 moves to get what it needs to do. It's basically like summon, search, do something else, maybe fusion, and then the second turn is where it's really important. If you're able to set up your first turn playing and survive that, then hopefully then you can set up the OTK. But other than that, again, really fun. And the deck doesn't really much change from my last profile. This is mainly an excuse to show off the new Princess foil. But let's start off with the Queen. All hail the Queen, Amazonas Queen right here. Decent card, just a one of. I've tried to, man, I mean, maybe back in the day it was really cool, especially if you get two on the field. But with its effect, Amazonas monsters you control cannot be destroyed by battle. That's pretty cool, especially when you're able to special summon it. You don't want to draw into this, you just want to special summon it from the deck using Augusta or whatever. And yeah, pretty cool. The Queen, all hail. A card that's super duper really important are the Amazonas princesses right here. So like I said, I want to show off that new foil. That reminds me of like the tins. This is from the speed duel, and it kind of also has the name down there if you guys can see it. But yeah, I'm gonna put two down here as I show this off and explain it. If you guys have never seen this card before, it is super important. It is basically the Rhoda, but it also becomes Amazonas Queen. It's while it's on the field or in the graveyard, and in the graveyard is also important because of cards like Empress that can special summon a queen from anywhere. So if this is in the graveyard, it can count. And when it's normal or special summon, you can search for one Amazonas spell or trap card and add it to your hand. You can only do that once per turn. And the other effect is when it attacks or declares an attack, you can sack another card on the field or discard a card from your hand to special summon any Amazonas from your deck, including Queen, if you really need Queen out. So just really cool. Really, really good. Then we have Amazonas War Chief. This is the other very, very important. Like, these have to be a 3 of. Like, the ratios on other cards you guys can choose, but I really believe War Chief and Princess are the definite 3 ofs of the deck. Other than this one spell card, but you'll see. So if you control no monsters or only Amazonas monsters, you can special summon this card from your hand. And if this card is normal or special summon from, you can set one Amazonas spell or trap card or polymerization directly from your deck. So it kind of gets around like Ash Blossom type thing. Again, I'll put 2 here so we can focus on the one artwork. Yeah, and yeah, you can only attack with Amazonas monster the rest of the turn. You cannot use the effect of War Chief once per turn. So that attack thing, I'll honestly say I forget a lot of times. So if you ever catch me when we're playing, remind me. It don't matter, but type in the comments, boo, boo Trainer Dell, boo, you attacked with something else somehow. I mean, I only usually really attack with the Amazonases, but yeah. It is something to keep note because that is a very forgetful line of text. We got the Golden Whip Master. I do like this at the ratio of 2 and 2 along with Silver Sword Master. I like these. So we'll start off with the Golden Whip Master. Man, look at these paragraphs of text. But basically, if you do its pendulum effect, Amazonas monsters you control gain 100 per their level. And when an attack is declared involving your Amazonas monster, you can target one spell or trap card on the field and destroy it. You can only use that effect once per turn. Its normal, I guess, effect, the monster effect, is if this card is in the monster zone, is destroyed by battle or card effect, you can place it in your pendulum zone. So normal stuff. If an Amazonas monster is special summoned to your field while this card is in your graveyard, except during the damage step, you can place it in your pendulum zone. So it's really good to do wombo combos with any polymerization card, essentially. And this one is almost the exact same effect. The only thing is the change is where when an Amazonas monster's declared an attack or whatever, and involving a declare attack, then you can choose an Amazonic spell or trap card in your graveyard and add it back to hand. So that's the only difference. It also still gives the 100 boost. It does the whole special, like if you special summon an Amazoness monster while it's in the graveyard, it goes to the pendulum zone. You can place it there. So never play anything on your two sides when you're playing Amazoness. You're gonna want to telegraph and just play in the middle. 3 right there. 1 sword woman just there because your opponent takes any battle damage that you would take instead, and because this is like a continuous effect, a replacement effect, whatever you call it, it doesn't trigger, which is really cool. So you just, you know, especially if you have Queen or I believe Empress, this can just stay on the field and absorb damage and just give it to your opponent, basically a magic cylinder. So definitely one of, sometimes I think about a 2 of, but it's again a card you don't want to really draw. Some of these cards you don't want to draw except for the multiple ones. You just kind of want to special them out or get them out through searches or whatever. I know a lot of people play more, I know, but I'm still on the 1 spiritualist train. You can definitely play 2 or 3. It is still an amazing card in bouncing stuff back, especially hot springs, pendulums, if you want to bring them back to fuse with. It is still really good, and I understand. I just don't have the room to play an extra one. I can take out the other card and maybe play a second one, but you know, right now I like it at 1. Spiritualist is really good, where if this card is in your hand or graveyard, and that's why I only like really run it at 1, because it can be in the graveyard. You can target an Amazoness card you control, accept itself, return it to the hand, and if you do, special summon this card. You can't special summon monsters for the extra deck for the rest of the turn except Amazoness monsters, which again, no real problem. And if this card is special summoned, not normal summoned sadly, you can add polymerization from your deck to your hand, and only once per turn can you activate the fix. So again, Spiritualist, really good to get polymerization, but we're not running like triple polymerization anyways, so I don't see the need to go full on crazy with it. Amazoness Baby Tiger. So this can be replaced for another Spiritualist if you want. I just like it because it also has the effect where, you know, if an Amazoness monster is special summon, you can special summon this back from your hand or graveyard. But yeah, it becomes Amazoness Tiger while on the field or in the graveyard. Not really as important as like the princess effect to become queen. Yeah, and if an Amazoness monster is normal or special summoned, you can just basically special summon this from your hand or graveyard, like I said earlier. And it gains 100 attack for each Amazoness card in your graveyard, which isn't too crazy, but it can just kind of like pseudo be a wall and just hang out. You can use it for Link sometimes. It's just there. And then another card that you guys can cut, but I just like having it, is Spy. Amazoness Spy is you can reveal 1 other Amazoness monster in your hand, special summon this card from your hand, and you only use that effect once per turn. It's not that important, but what's really cool is if this card is destroyed by battle and sent to the graveyard, which honestly doesn't happen a lot in modern Yu-Gi-Oh, but if it does, then you can basically target an Amazoness monster in your graveyard, accept itself, return it to hand, or shuffle into the deck. And for the most part, we're just trying to get back Princess or War Chief back to the hand to try to do stuff. But yeah, it's just there. It's just like the very few graveyard recurrence we have in the deck. And then I was going to save this for last, but I might as well just do it now. 3 Ash. It's Ash. Blossom. I mean, what else can we say? Triple Veiler. I still like Veiler at 3. I still think it does pretty good stuff. Honestly, you can probably say that there's a better hand trap right now depending on the meta. Man, it's just that my deck does not run good under Shifter. I need my graveyard, so I'm not gonna be running Shifter in here. I do have Droll and Lockbird in the extra, but even then it's meh. So this is the other 3 of in the deck. The Amazoness Call, where it's essentially the Rhoda. Take another Rhoda, right? Take 1 Amazoness card from your deck, except Amazoness Call, and either add it to your hand or send it to the graveyard. During your main phase, you can banish this card from your graveyard, then target 1 Amazon monster you control. This turn, that monster can attack all monsters your opponent control once each, Also, other monsters you control cannot attack. You can only activate one Amazoness call per turn. I believe you can do both effects the same turn. I forget on that. You guys let me know. Because it's not says one, it can't use one of each effect per turn. It just says you can only activate one. So I think you're just activating it. I don't know. I don't usually do it anyways. I just kind of like pick one or the other just to be safe, because I forget to this day. And then Rhoda, because it is Rhoda. So just ways to search. Droll and Lock would also hurt this deck. That's why sometimes I want to run it, because it can hurt other people's decks, and then we are running another card that, you know, it can work with. One Amazoness Village, I think one is fine. It can just help, you know, like when an Amazoness gets destroyed, bring out something. So yeah, that's there. All right, this is gonna be where the lineup is weird. So I'm running 2 Secret Arts, and so this lets you fusion summon one Amazoness fusion monster from your extra deck using monsters from your hand or field as fusion material monsters. During your main phase, you can banish this card from your graveyard. Once, if you fusion summon an Amazoness fusion monster this turn, you can also send one Amazoness monster from your extra deck to the graveyard as a material. You can only use one Secret Arts effect per turn and one that turn. So see that whole type line effect restriction? It kind of says it there. So you can't play it, then banish it, and then like polymerization. Like it's like only one effect per turn. So it's also a quick play, so you can do it on your opponent's turn if you set it with like War Chief and whatnot. I am playing just 2 polymerizations because War Chief can search for it or set it, and then so can Spiritualist can search for it. And then 1 super poly. I do have 2 extras in the extra or the side deck, but just 1 for right now, because you know you're not always going to go into decks that need to get dealt with that. Like we can actually use this to like hopefully like perform game in a sense, like if we're able to swarm the field, attack, and then for that final attack you needing it for the most part. But if we do see decks where we essentially need to super poly and break boards, then obviously we can like replace Veiler, because I don't think Veiler's going to help if they're just going to set up anyways, or even Tiger, Spiritualist, Spy, you know, like we have like ways to side it out. And then I guess Harpy's Feather Duster. It's funny because it's a my card, but man, this card came in clutch. If you guys watched the Samurai against, oh no, we didn't keep that. I had a duel against Samurai, but we had to like get rid of the footage because there were a few mess ups that he felt bad because he had like a great advantage bringing out a card that, yeah, whatever. But Harpy's Feather Duster was it clutch. It kept just destroying back row, which I needed to get done. And I do run Lightning Storms in the side, but it's just funny to have this in. It feels like, you know, the little, again, another nod to Mai because she runs Amazoness. And then we got Called by the Grave. If this focuses, y'all know Called by the Grave. Come on, it doesn't even want to focus. Target 1 monster in your opponent's graveyard, banish it, and if you do, till the end of the next turn, all of, you know, the effects are negated as well as the same name effects. But yeah, Crossout Designator, that's just what I say. It's because of this card that Droll and Lockbird wouldn't hurt too bad if we had to like switch out the Veilers. But this has come in so much clutch against like Ashes and Imperm, which also shows up later. But you know, you guys know it. 1 of the Onslaught. I love that it's a non-target banish effect when an Amazoness monster battles. So yeah, just once per turn during your battle phase, you can special summon 1 Amazoness monster from your hand, and if you do, it gains 500 attack till the end of the turn, even if this card leaves the field. After damage cal, if your Amazoness monster battled an opponent's monster while this card is already face up in your spell and trap card zone, you can banish that opponent's monster. If this card is on the field is destroyed, then sent to the graveyard, you can target an Amazoness monster in your graveyard, special summon it. So again, another way to do some graveyard stuff to bring, you know, I don't know, I can't even say the word right now. But mainly that non-target banish is so good. We got 1 Hot Springs, Amazoness Hot Springs. When this card is activated, you can take 1 Amazoness monster from your deck and either add it to your hand, or if it is a pendulum monster, place it into the pendulum zone. When you take battle damage while you control an Amazoness monster card, you gain life points equal to the damage you took. So you can stay alive, especially when you have like Queen, the monster stays on the field. If you take battle damage, you'll just gain it right back. As long as you don't hit 0, I believe. If you hit 0, then yeah, you know, everything ends. But as long as you don't, you'll be fine. And that card is cool because, like, you know, they can declare an attack. You can activate it. You can get one of the pendulum monsters, set it to your pendulum zone face up, and then activate their effects because, you know, the attack is involving your Amazon. So you can either pop a spell or trap card on the field or even recur. That's the word I was looking for. Recur a spell or trap card from your grave. So whatever you're missing, you can get. Whatever you need to get, you can get. I do like that. And then Infinite Impermanence, just 3 of, another good hand trap to have. For the extra deck, I'm still running 3 Augusta. She's just super important. She's like she's GG's, man. If we can usually get it out, she does really good. So just 3, and yeah, 1 Amazoness fusion monster plus 1 Amazoness monster, which sounds easy enough. And your opponent cannot target other Amazoness cards you control with card effects, and those cards cannot be destroyed by your opponent's card effects. So really good. If this card was fusion summoned using Empress or Queen as material, it can make a second attack during each battle phase, and that's the important part. That's why we need Empresses, that's why we need Queen, Princess that can become Queen while it's on the field. We don't ever want to fuse her while it's in our hand unless we're going for Empress or we're desperate. And then if this card is fusion summoned, you can special summon 1 Amazoness monster from your deck. You can only use each effect of Augusta once per turn. So like I said, our targets are usually Queen, if we don't draw into Queen, like Brick with that. Spiritualist to just grab Polymerization to maybe do another fusion play if we have stuff. War Chief to set, again, Polymerization, or even Princess. There's just a freaking Swordswoman if there's something even bigger than Augusta somehow, some way. So yeah, that's just what it's there for. 3 Empress. I went down to 2, and I don't know what it was. I just felt like I needed more because sometimes I'm fusion wing out earlier on, and then if I can use that for Augusta, that's cool. And if this somehow gets dealt with and I can special summon stuff and do things, well, I'm gonna need to send another away, and then if I want to do another one. So I went back to 3. I think 3/3 is fine. You can definitely get away with a 2/2 line if there's other, you need to make space, and I get that, but I am totally fine with that. So here's Empress, and wish it was foil, but other Amazoness monsters you control cannot be destroyed by battle or card effects. It takes 1 Queen plus 1 Amazon monster, so you need Queen, which again, Princess becomes that on the field. If your Amazoness monster attacks a defense position monster, inflict piercing damage to your opponent. Another really good effect that's very kind of underrated, but you know, everything about this is battle orientated anyways. If this face-up fusion monster is destroyed by battle or leaves the field because of an opponent's card effect while its owner controls it, you can special summon 1 Amazoness Queen from your hand, deck, or graveyard. And that's the most important part, the whole hand, deck, or graveyard, because like I said with Princess, come on, if it's in the grave, it counts as Queen, and then we're gonna search again, we're gonna do combos. Just really simple. Pet Liger, which another helps with the graveyard occurrence, or this is Amazoness Pet Liger King, and then this is Amazoness Pet Liger, just here for the moral support really, but this can help you get back Swordswoman and stuff as well, because you can I think you can destroy an Amazoness on the field and then special summon 1 from the grave, like basically swap them. But we hardly go into this, and in this one I kind of want to take out, I'll kind of show you what I would take out for it in a second, but we got to finish off this section. So because we have Super Poly and we have more Super Polys in the extra, I decided to throw in just like a small Super Poly package. So we got Garura, Mudragon. These are just, you know, our generic ones to try to go into if we need to break board. Starving Venom Fusion Dragon, if it allows to be seen. Predaplant Dragostapelia. So those are the Super Poly fusions. And lastly, for the links, we have IP Masquerena, SP Little Knight. Yeah, got it. Such a good reprint. Everyone's so happy. This is obviously the wombo combo you want to see. And then Nightmare Phoenix. Usually we don't need to go into any of these links. We usually just want to go into our fusions and win. But they're here. But I would easily take out, if I had extra copies of these, the Pet Liger and maybe Nightmare Phoenix, and just add these two in. The Earth Golem Adignister and Yubel Loving Defender. Like Dragos Stapelia kind of and Starving Venom kind of do what Yubel needs, or they have a Yubel board. It is what it is. And sadly, in Master Duel we can play it, but here in the TCG, no is old. So yeah, that's just it. That's basically the deck. I'll just show you real quick the deck. This is not even like a good one. This is just what I have on the side. But Scouts, it was something to special summon off so that obviously, like, if we get Augusta, we can special summon this in defense mode. And maybe our opponent can't target stuff. The 3 Drone Locks, 2 extra Super Polys, Lightning Storms, another Onslaught and Hot Springs. Goes in match, rivalry, and evenly matched. It's not like a great one. It's not going to do anything. You guys have to build side decks to your meta, and this one I don't really bring too much to locals. I will probably try sometime this or next month, but we've just been so busy and swamped and everything with the holidays, so haven't done any Yu-Gi-Oh locals. I do play this deck at times on Master Duel, and I was dumb because I was like, where's my Swordswoman? I was so used to playing it here. I didn't see Swordswoman in that deck. So I need to definitely, I think I added it in already, and I was like, what the heck, I need it. It felt weird not to have one of my plays on there. And so yeah, this is a deck that I like to keep around, a deck that I like to play and have fun with. I know last year I said it was one of my decks that I would keep if I kept 5. But I might disband it and just play it off Master Duel. It's really fun. There's a lot of staples in here that I kind of want to use for other decks. But for right now, I'm keeping it. I like it, especially having the new Amazoness Princess Secret Rares is pretty cool. So yeah, let me know what you guys think. Thank you so much for watching. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. All right, peace.